It's a privilege and honor to share my thoughts with all you amazing people here. Today I am going to talk about egalitarian and sustainable society. I start with the quote by Gandhiji: "Be the change you want to see in this world." The earth, the air, the land, water are not an inheritance from our forefathers, but on loan from our children. Let's hit Mahatma Gandhi's message of peace and vision for sustainable future. What is sustainable society? It is the one in which we do not damage the environment or overuse of resources, therefore able to leave a beautiful, peaceful, bountiful earth that future generations can continue to inhabit even after us. What's egalitarian society? It is a society that lacks social stratification and, with the exceptions of inequality based on ability and age, provides equal access to resources and prestige. Basically, the roots of egalitarian society lie in the concept of social equality. There is an appropriate quote that I recently read. It's a quote by J. Krishnamurti, and it says, "It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." The essence of this statement is as simple as, for us to be truly better humans at our core, the society needs to transform as a whole and not as a mere individuals. The main issues confronting India and the world today are economic disparity, social discord, cultural and religious conflicts, environmental degradation, and ecological destruction. And the overarching issues of our times are climate change and global warming. The genesis of entire crisis is due of overpopulation and overconsumption. Faced with these obstacles, the current time calls for us to look beyond the historically inherited problems of race, caste, class, and mainly patriarchy. Sages, saints, thinkers, philosophers, and intellectual elite, executive, legislative, and judiciary, have discussed, debated, ruled, and educated on these issues. From Buddha to Gandhi, Socrates to Raquel Garza, have dedicated their lives for this. Despite their sane advice and sound arguments, rulers and those building powers have used their authority, arms, property, and resources to persecute, enslave, and exploit people. Hence, there is an urgent need for paradigm shift in a prevalent growth path and a model of development. The main criteria is that it should be pro-nature, pro-poor, and pro-woman. The virtue of this approach is that when all feet stand on the same ground, their contributions are equal. This alternative paradigm is also in conformity with the vision and values of Constitution of India. As such, we can legitimately adopt the alternative approach of Sarvodaya, which means well-being of all. It doesn't mean blind opposition to growth, but opposition to blind growth. Luckily, there are alternatives and they are cheaper, quicker, and safer. For instance, one, rainwater harvesting instead of big dams. 2, renewable energy in place of fossil fuels. 3, public transport instead of use of personal automobiles. You see, the change we are seeking for the better future is not a phenomenal one. A brighter tomorrow lies in simple choices of sustainable today. The dominant reality of climate change demands for a new vision of development based on ecological and ethical values of social responsibility, grassroots democracy, sexual equality, and non-violence at all levels. As I said earlier, the global plans to respond to climate change cannot be strong or sustainable unless it is equitable. Gender equality is not only necessary for egalitarian standards, but also to tackle climate change. Each of us, whether we are student, teacher, professional, or activist, have to consciously perform our role as a citizen to resuscitate the value and vision of our Constitution. Whenever we are talking about the climate change and sustainable growth, it is necessary that we speak along with the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals are the collection of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve the dream of sustainable and better tomorrow. These goals were set in the Global Agenda 2015, and the plans is to achieve them by end of year 2030. These goals aim to achieve three big things by 2030. One, extreme poverty, combat climate change, and third one is fight injustice and inequalities. The 17 sustainable goals are: 1. No poverty. 2. Zero hunger. 3. Good health and well-being for all. 4. Quality education for all. 5th, gender equality. 6th, clean water and sanitation. 7. Affordable and clean energy. 8. Decent work and economic growth. 9. Industry, innovation and infrastructure. 10. Reduced inequalities. 11. Sustainable cities and communities. 12. Responsible consumption and production. 13. Climate action. 14th, life below water. 15th, life on land. 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. 17, last but not least, partnerships for the goals. For the purpose of today's keynote, I would like to speak more about 5th Sustainable Development Goals, that is gender equality. Goal 5 specifically targeted at achieving gender equality and empowering women and girls. Gender equality is not only a fundamental right, but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and more sustainable world. There has been progress over last decades. More girls are going to school, fewer girls are forced to early marriage. More women are serving in parliament and position of leadership. Laws are being made to actively advance gender equality. Despite all these gains, many challenges still remain. The coronavirus outbreak exacerbated existing inequality across every sphere, from health, economy, security to social protection. The pandemic has also led to steep increase in violence against women and girls. Many women are trapped at home with their abuser. So many women and girls are struggling to access primary services like health and education. Looking at these impacts of COVID-19 crisis on women and girls and to ensure long-term recovery benefits, I think it is important that we should focus on some points here. One, mitigating gender-based violence and domestic violence. Second, serving social protection and economic stimulus packages to women and girls. Equal sharing of care work. 4. Promoting participation of women in planning and decision making. 5th, providing higher studies and opportunities to upcoming girls to build up the more equal society at all levels. And 6th one, engaging more women and girls in the climate action. This way, we will be able to put women and girls at the center of economies and fundamentally thrive better and more sustainable development outcomes for one and all. In fact, one of the main motivation behind the idea of starting Arihant Foundation was to raise my voice for voiceless women and girls around the globe. Today marks one of the most important days in my journey toward my mission, because today I get to speak to single most powerful force that can turn this dream of an egalitarian and sustainable world into reality. You, the youth of today. A great and huge applause to women and girls in this session today. Let's all together work to make the world a better place to live in. Thank you.